When we read Psalm 23, it is easy to treat it as soothing poetry, but King David wrote it from a place of real danger, surrounded by enemies and facing the threat of death. His words force us to confront an uncomfortable fact: we do not control our lives. At some point, all of us will face deep uncertainty, periods of darkness, and eventually, death itself. Psalm 23 is not a promise that life will be safe. It is a guarantee that the shepherd is trustworthy, even when life is not. To put this into practice, grab a pen and a piece of paper. Bring your current trial or anxiety to mind. We are going to build a personalized prayer to navigate it, using a 5-step framework called the Tears Method. True peace doesn't come from wishing your uncertainty away. It comes from having a structured, intentional way to process that uncertainty directly with God. Step 1. Turn to God. Write a sentence handing your control to Him. Acknowledge Him as your providing shepherd. It might look like, "Father, I turn to you. I am not in control. You are. Help me rest in your care." Next is step 2. Express your struggle. Below your first sentence, write down the exact thing you are afraid of right now. David says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death." Notice the physics. A shadow requires a light source behind an obstacle. For the Christian, danger, uncertainty, and death itself are merely shadows, intimidating, but not the ultimate substance. Write your expression of that struggle. "Lord, I feel the weight of this valley. My heart wants control because I feel unsafe. But you say this is only a shadow. Help me believe that." Stating your fear honestly is never a sign of weak faith. It is the necessary action of dragging your hidden panic into the clear light of God's control. Step 3 is to ask boldly. But notice David's specific request. He doesn't ask for the valley to disappear. Write down a request asking for God's presence in your storm, rather than asking for the storm to stop. Think about the physical mechanics of an anchor. The safety it provides doesn't come from the iron itself. An anchor is entirely useless on its own. Its strength comes entirely from what you attach it to. Anchor to current circumstances, and you will drift when the weather changes. Anchor to your own abilities, and the weight drags you down. Anchoring to Christ means attaching your lock to a solid rock. He guarantees His presence, holding you steady despite surrounding danger. Write down your request. "Lord, anchor my heart to you, not to specific outcomes, but to Christ. You are the rock. Hold me steady in this storm." Shifting your prayer from removal to presence takes your sense of security off of temporary safety and fastens it directly to eternal stability. Step 4 is resolve to trust. Your next sentence will be a declaration of trust in God's current provision for you. We often expect God to clear out the threats before He blesses us, but Psalm 23 outlines a different pattern. God usually doesn't remove the enemies. Instead, He hosts you, preparing a table and providing for you right in the middle of the danger. Write out your resolve. "Father, you have not removed what I fear, but you have not left me. Help me trust that your provision in the presence of my enemies is enough." The final step is speak hope. Finish your page by writing down a guarantee about your eternal future. This is the core of gospel assurance. You can live with the absolute certainty that goodness and mercy are actively pursuing you, and that physical death is nothing more than a doorway leading to your actual home. Finish your prayer with this: "Lord, I choose to believe goodness and mercy are following me. One day I will be with you forever, where there is no more pain and no darkness. Anchor my hope in that future." Resolving to trust and speaking hope alters how you experience the trial. It stops being a terrifying dead end and instead becomes a clear passageway leading directly to God. Look at the paper you just completed. By moving from a vague feeling of dread to a structured response, you have a specific roadmap to navigate your fear rather than being paralyzed by it. This confidence works due to a historical reality. Jesus entered the shadow of death Himself, took on its full darkness, and emerged, breaking its power. Because your shepherd has already conquered the valley, you can trust that you are currently being led safely through it. You are never abandoned inside it. Keep this written prayer nearby. Whenever the anxiety of your trial starts to rise, pull it out and read these 5 steps aloud. Remember the truth that holds it all together. Your life is not safe, but your shepherd is, and you are anchored to him.